Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah, here comes the, no, here comes the, oh, here comes the, y'all don't really want it. I'm ready for love today. All the day.
And good morning, sleepers. This is Jason with the Blitz crew on the Sunday Morning Blitz. It is week 4 of your NFL season. For most teams anyway, it's week 4. I'm your host, Jason, and with me as always is the Blitz crew, and I'm going to start with the man on my, I don't know, it's on my left or right. I can't tell depending on how you're looking at the screen. It's Steve Spack, SPAC21 on Twitter. Steve, how's it going this morning?
Marvelous, man. It's another Sunday. It's Blitz time. We got a ton of stuff to go through, so let's get you guys through, man, set up, because this is going to be one crazy-ass week.
Up in the corner, we got at BFTG Pod, my partner in crime, George. Showtime, George.
Showtime, George. What's going on, gentlemen? How y'all doing this morning? Man, I honestly wish there was something to talk about this week. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of news going on in the NFL these days, right? So I'm just saying. We're gonna have to push through this one this week. I just got that feeling.
And behind the scenes, as always, doing the ones and the twos at Dirty Jobs 21. Dirty, I know you're in the background. Your video's gone. How you doing this morning?
Doing good. How we doing this morning, guys? They'll pop in. Everybody can see why I hit stop cam most of the time.
So let's before we have any questions, let's talk a little bit about what we know about and what we don't. Obviously, Tennessee and Pittsburgh being postponed to later in the season. Right now, Kansas City and New England is on schedule to play Monday. Everybody but Cam Newton so far has tested negative, and that continues to be the case. So as of right now, we're seeing that game's going to be played Monday. New Orleans got a scare with a positive test, but that ended up being a false positive. So their game is going to go off, without an issue. What do you guys think the NFL can do going forward? I've seen a couple of reports where some coaches are talking about condensing the season, adding a couple more bye weeks in where they can make up games, stuff like that. What are you guys seeing? What do you guys think about what's going on and ways they can fix stuff going forward?
Go ahead, George. Well,
the one thing I've seen so far is the NFL is actually willing to look at pushing back the start of the playoffs 1 week. So, I think they really screwed up this season not giving a second bye week to the teams just to give a little bit more flexibility with the schedule. I think we're going to be okay. Like outside of Tennessee, for the most part, like we've had really minimal positive tests within the NFL. I was watching a show this morning, and they said that they've tested over 400,000 tests for COVID have been completed in the NFL. And outside of the 20 positives of Tennessee, the rest of the league has only had 8 positives. So looking at those numbers, like that's fantastic. I don't wish this on anybody. That said, like if you're telling me that the numbers are over 400,000 tests, 8 positives outside of one, what looks like to be an outbreak, and it also looks like they were not following the NFL guidelines. The NFL is coming in to do some investigating and all that. So I think the NFL is doing it right, all things considered. I don't know about you. What do you think, Steve?
I mean, realistically, if you think about even what happened with baseball, right? And we're still getting through that season. And, the NFL, and much like fantasy owners, I mean, everybody's got to realize we signed up for this, right? The NFL did. us as fantasy football players, and so on and so forth. So everybody kind of has to stay water through all of this. It's going to be adjust on the fly. There's and several chats that I've been in, leagues have been implementing some things for fantasy lineups. You're looking at the situation with Cam Newton. They're looking at all the tests for New England that came back negative the day before. They had results come back negative again. So they're not officially announcing anything yet. They're still looking at Monday, Tuesday night. So we don't know what's going to go on with that game, but that's just a situation where you have to stay water in it. The 2 additional tests that came back with Tennessee for positive tests, they're talking about, I believe it's against the Bills next week, that game being in jeopardy because of all of this. So there's only so much you can do. We're working to a much greater moving target than we normally do. And what I mean by that is you go through football season, every team has to deal with injuries and then trickle down effect. Fantasy owners have to deal with injuries, what you're going to do, so on and so forth. Now this is obviously something much greater. So it's a huge moving target, and we have to stay water and be able to adjust on the fly. And I encourage fantasy leagues, commissioners, be a little bit flexible. This is going to be a week-to-week thing. If you didn't implement any IR spots specifically for COVID players, and everybody has to be on the same page about all of it. But it's just something you're going to have to be able to address week in and week out, just like the NFL is going to have to adjust because you just don't know.
So
Yeah.
I think the thing I'd say, especially for you commissioners, is be decisive and stick, right? Like, yes, you want to get some consensus from your league, but at the end of the day, you know how wishy-washy leagues are. Like, if you're a commissioner, make a decision, move forward with it, be concise, and don't change the rules after. If you make a rule that you can sub in this circumstance, going forward, you're going to have to sub, right?
Correct.
It's just be decisive and make sure you can live with it and make sure you can do the extra work, because it's going to be extra work and it's going to be extra complaining. So
here's what I did with, and I know we got a call, but the call can wait just another couple seconds. It won't kill them. Here's what I did for all of our charity leagues.
Showtime, George.
Yes. For the BFTG charity leagues, what I did is I took the action of, yes, I'm going to allow players to sub players if they want. But the way that this is going to work is I have to have the exact player you're starting, who you want to be their sub in case the game doesn't go, and I need to have that information before kickoff. If you tell me after kickoff, oh, I wanted to substitute, Ryan Fitzpatrick for Patrick Mahomes, sorry, you're shit out of luck. That's not happening. I did that across 15 leagues. Out of the 15 leagues, I had one person complain about it. I went ahead and looked. The only person that was complaining about it was playing Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce this week. So, yes, you can't leave it up to the members of your league because there's going to be bias in there. All the charity leagues that I commission, I don't play in any of them. I play in one of them. And I took myself out of the equation for that because the ruling for this week had no effect on me whatsoever. I don't have good players on that team, so I didn't have anybody from Kansas City or New England. So I wasn't really concerned about that. But like Jason said,
selfish of you, George.
I know. It's what I felt would be best for all of the leagues. Like, I told everybody, listen, Tennessee, Pittsburgh, consider that a bye week. Like, I'm not doing anything. I'm not giving you more roster spots. I'm not giving you more IR spots. We've got what we got. We need to deal with the punches as they come. We all knew this coming in. But as far as a game being in limbo, where they tell you 24 hours before kickoff, hey, this game may or may not play, and that doesn't give you time to pick up players off of waivers. It doesn't really allow you a whole lot of time to do anything. Like, I'm making exceptions, and I will carry this throughout the rest of the season for those leagues. Is it a shit ton of work? Oh, you're damn right it is. It is absolutely a lot of work for commissioners. But that's, the job we signed up for as a commissioner. And, if you get extra work, you knew coming into this year, it was going to be a crazy ass season. And if If you're not willing to do the work, don't be a commissioner. That's all I got to say.
All right. So with that said, Mike, let's go ahead and pull up our caller. And caller, you're on with the Blitz. What's your name? Where are you from?
Oh, what's up, guys? It's Curtis.
It's Curtis.
Curtis would have waited a couple hours if we needed him to. Thanks, Curtis.
Oh, I don't know. Nah. Jason was making some good points. He was making some very good points. I can tell now he's a very good commissioner.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, we got to get Curtis on track, man. He's calling into the mail sack, yelling at dirty jobs every Wednesday, man. So we got to get him on track. What you got this week, buddy?
It's all good, man. It's all good, man.
Curtis, you cheating on the Blitz?
No, never cheated. No. It's never like that. It's never like that.
What can we do for you, Curtis?
All right, guys. A few quick questions, man. All right. And one of my leagues, I have to make a roster move. I'm right now. I'm stuck between either Jeff Wilson Jr. or Deontay Swift from the Lions as my RB2.
I'd probably go I'd go with Jeff Wilson.
Yeah, I think they're not using Swift at all, and Jeff Wilson just finds the end zone. So I'd go Jeff Wilson as well.
Yeah, because I mean, looking at the running back depth, there's more opportunity for Jeff Wilson. I'm not really sure. Well, I mean, I am sure Matt Patricia's an idiot, but yeah, they're not using DeAndre Swift in Detroit for whatever ungodly reason.
I got you, man. All right, another quick question. All right, guys. What are your thoughts on Marquez Valdez-Scantling this week with the news of Lazard going on IR?
I think MVS is. I think you're going to be playing him a lot this year. We still don't know. We still don't know how well Devontae Adams is coming back from that injury. I don't even know. Have you guys seen that he's even playing this week? Because I have not seen anything, or if he's even expected.
He's still questionable. So I have him in a couple of leagues, and I was looking at things before we jumped on the show here. He's listed as questionable. He's an absolute 100% game time decision. Yeah.
So I mean, MVS with the situation with Adams, with Lazard being out, I think he's a guy that you're going to be playing a lot this year.
Especially this week against that Falcons secondary.
Yeah, and he's the deep shot guy, so he'll. I won't be surprised if he gets behind that defense a couple times this game. Not sure if they'll turn into touchdowns, but I think you're going to see some opportunities for him.
All right, guys, and another quick question. In my 2 QB league, I have the option between Ryan Fitzpatrick and Aaron Rodgers. Who do you feel is the best super flex this week?
Dude, that's actually kind of tough because of the matchups.
So he said Fitzpatrick, and I was gonna say Fitzpatrick a lot today against the Seahawks, but then you've got Aaron Rodgers who's been playing lights out with some hurt weapons, but they're playing the Falcons. I still lean Aaron Rodgers against the Falcons here. I am prepared to say Fitzpatrick a whole lot this week, though.
Yeah, I am too, especially the way that him and Devontae Parker continue to hook up. I mean, I think you're going to be good either way.
Yeah,
I'm going to go. I'm going to go Fitzpatrick as well. Just want to throw that out there.
All right. Another quick question, guys. What are your thoughts on the Rams defense this week going against the Giants? I need a huge. Do you guys got a feeling that they're going to blow up today?
The thing with the Rams defense against the Giants that you have in your favor is how turnover prone Daniel Jones is. And there's really not much of a backfield there. So I don't know if they'll absolutely blow up, but I think you're going to get a good game out of them.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get a huge game. But I think, 8 to 12 points is definitely possible from the Rams defense.
Oh, I'd say they'll be north of 10.
Yeah, I'm putting an 8 to 12 range for sure.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Last question. Hold me for the league, right quick. So I actually the right question. Okay, guys. With this week with my flex, with Julio Jones playing on Monday and he's still listed as questionable, I really don't have another good backup option if he don't play. So you guys feel just risk the biscuit and wait, or should I put in disgusting T.Y. Hilton?
Do you have any options on waivers? T.Y. Hilton scares me. If like playing T.Y. Hilton's almost like playing an injured Julio.
You only get a couple more points out of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's available from Monday night's game on the waivers? Even more importantly,
on waivers, I have only other person I see here who's a bit he's gone already. I have nothing. I have nothing. I'm drawing blank right now.
How about let me ask you this: what's available from the Chiefs and Patriots on the waivers? I mean, if you want to get real dangerous,
Robinson. I have Robinson on waiver wire.
I mean, Marcus Robinson's out there.
I don't know, man. Yeah, he's a potential Monday shot if you want to get real dangerous.
So you have no other options on your bench besides T.Y. Hilton?
Well, I want to ask you guys how you feel about T. Higgins this week.
I'd play him.
I'd probably play T. Higgins as well.
Yeah, I'd rather play T. Higgins than T.Y. Hilton if you don't want to roll the dice on Julio. John Ross is out of the picture. A.J. Green's looking rough. I don't know that he's going to catch 2 touchdowns again, but the target volume's there for him. It's going to be.
Not only that, but in the offseason, one of the wide receivers that was practicing exclusively with Burrow was T. Higgins.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. All right, then I'm good to go then, guys. I ain't got no more questions.
All right, Curtis.
Good luck to
you.
you.
Appreciate you, brother. We really do.
Have a good week. Good luck, Curtis.
As always, man. Good luck out there.
All right, and that was Curtis. We are going to jump into another call. Caller, you're on with the Blitz. What's your name? Where are you from?
What's up, guys? I'm from Evan. I'm from Connecticut. Just wondering, so in my PPR league, I don't really know what to flex. I have Gaskin and I have CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, 2 good options, especially for PPR.
I just like the volume that Gaskin's getting.
Yeah.
Especially in PPR because he's seeing the receiving work too.
Yeah, I think Gaskin has it. So if you want a safe floor, I'm going to go with Gaskins. Yeah. If you want a high ceiling, go with CeeDee Lamb. If it's me personally, I think I'm going to go Gaskins. They're real close, but I want the safe floor that Gaskins is going to provide.
Yep,
I agree. All 3 of us.
All right, thank you, guys. Thank you. Have a good one. Good luck to everyone.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, and we're going to roll right into our next call. Caller, you're on with the Blitz. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hey, Nash from Vancouver, BC out here. Just with Johnny Smith out today. I was just wondering who I should play for my tight end here, Hooper or Ali Cox?
Ali Cox.
For sure, Ali Cox. Yeah, for sure.
Loving the Cox.
Mike, I'm going to need that audio clip, please.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, for sure, go Mo Ali Cox over Hooper. Caller, you got anything else?
He must have taken his question off the air. We do have one more caller though here.
All right,
fireman.
Caller, you're on the air with the Blitz. What's your name? Where you from?
What's up, guys? This is Danger Zone from Austin.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What can we do for you, Danger Zone?
I've been hit with what's going on?
I said, what can we do for you, Danger Zone?
Man, I've been hit with injuries and this COVID-19 shit. So Juju's out, and and Cam is out. So I kind of got stuck with the leftovers on the waiver for quarterbacks. So I know you were saying that you like Fitzmagic. Is there anybody else that attracts your attention, like Rivers? Let me see who else is available.
Is Fitzpatrick available?
Yeah, he's available. Also, Teddy Bridgewater, Cousins, Mayfield.
Is this a 6 point or is it 6 point or 4 point per touchdown?
It's 4 points.
4 points. All right. I'll let Steve and Jason talk about this real quick. I want to look something up.
I'm gonna go Fitzpatrick personally. I mean, looking at the matchup alone, and the way that him and Parker have been on the same page, and then Gaskin getting involved, it's possibility of a day for Gesicki as well. I just like the matchup. I like what's going on. They're firing the ball around. They're generally in a position where, for the most part, chasing points to where they have to throw the ball. The run game's not really there. So I would definitely play Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, and speaking to your other options, Mayfield hasn't had a good year, even though he's thrown the ball a little bit. He doesn't throw it enough. They want to run. They may have to throw against the Cowboys, but I just don't think he can do it as effectively as Fitzpatrick can.
Nope.
Cousins against the Texans. I mean, the Texans don't scare anybody, but he's played poorly this year as well. It's not like he's been great. I think the one consistent quarterback all year of those options has been Fitzpatrick. He's when he hasn't had the yards, he's had the touchdowns, and when he hasn't had the touchdowns, he's had a bunch of yards for you. Against the Seahawks, where he's probably going to be behind because Wilson is playing lights out. That's really why I want him.
Yeah, like the thing about Mayfield possibly being intriguing against the Cowboys is what teams have been able to do against the Cowboys through the air. But that Cowboys defense has several new players on that side of the ball. Obviously, no Camp. So at any given time, that could really all come together. They have a pretty decent pass rush too, and it's just tough to trust Baker. I definitely think Fitzpatrick is your best option.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick. I looked him up. He's currently quarterback 14 overall in 4 point per passing touchdown leagues. So he's playing just outside top 12. The matchup is absolutely fantastic. I think Fitzpatrick, you can actually start him this weekend. I would feel confident that he's going to do you some good.
Okay. As far as to replace, I got to drop somebody. It kind of sucks. I messaged the commissioner about making another spot for the COVID-19. He already has one for the regular IR and then the COVID-19 IR. But man, I already got Juju on there. I got Le'Veon Bell. Kind of sucks. I got to drop somebody. My choices are Swift, Moss, and Schultz. I'm thinking Schultz.
Who's your other tight end?
Higbee.
Yeah, you're dropping Schultz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, Schultz is getting a lot of targets too. As much as I hate saying that.
He's got Higbee, and then you've got Jonnu, right? Or was that the caller before?
That was the caller before.
Okay, never mind.
And you hate to give up running back depth.
Right.
But who are the two running backs again? Moss and who?
Swift.
Swift.
I think you'd have a better shot at dropping Moss and be able to picking him back up if you wanted to next week. A lot of people are fading Moss big time. But that depends on your roster construction.
Yeah,
I'm dropping a tight end. I hate dropping running backs.
Yeah, I hate dropping. I hate dropping running backs for teams that are actually playing. So that's the only reason why I can't drop. I can't drop Moss.
Schultz, it is.
Makes sense.
So, all right, man. We appreciate you. You got anything else?
Yeah, my other league, Debo just came off IR, so I kind of need to drop somebody. So my choices are: I got Ayuk, then I got Harry, Hilton, And MVS, I got to drop somebody to keep Debo.
I think you're dropping Ayuk.
Yeah, you're dropping Ayuk, and I wouldn't play Debo this week because
No, I wouldn't either.
Shanahan's already said that he's not going to have his normal role this week. I think they still want to see how he's going to adjust. He got through a full week of practice. Obviously he didn't have any setbacks or anything like that because they pulled him off IR designation. But yeah, they're going to slowly work him back in and see how it goes this week.
So you want me to play MVS with Adams? Play both of them?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I would. So actually, what I would do, honestly, I would leave MVS on the bench as my Adams replacement because Adams is a Monday night game.
Yeah.
So I would leave MVS on the bench this week as my Adams insurance in case Adams does not play. And I would look to start I'd probably start T.Y. Hilton. As much as I don't like it, I think that's the route I would probably go.
So how many wide receivers do you start?
Just two, because I got 4 good running backs: Robinson, David Johnson, Gurley, and who's my other guy? Jacobs.
And who are the wide receivers you have in your lineup right now?
I got Adams and Ayuk.
Okay. Yeah, I would suggest what George brought up.
Yeah, just in case Adams doesn't go, that gives you at least a little bit of coverage.
Yeah. You don't want to pigeonhole yourself with that one.
You've been ain't the New England game in Kansas City supposed to be played on Monday night too? I got
They haven't officially announced that yet, though.
Yeah, they're waiting. So for the New England Kansas City game, everything from New England has come back clean. The only positive test was Cam. All their other tests have come back negative. They're waiting to get the test results. It should be sometime this afternoon from the Kansas City team. And if the Kansas City team comes back clean, both the coaches and the players and the league are pushing to move that game to Monday night. The one thing that is very concerning to me is this will be the 3rd game in 10 days for the Kansas City Chiefs. So, I mean, player safety and all. I don't think the NFL really cares about player safety, to be honest. But, I mean, 3 games in 10 days is quite a lot for any professional team.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. I appreciate your time.
All right. Danger Zone, thanks for the call. Good luck this week.
You too. Got to.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.
And we're going to roll right into the next call. Caller, you're on with the Blitz. What's your name? Where are you from? And what do you got for us this week?
Hey, this is Mike. Can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you.
Hey, this is Mike. I'm calling from Florida. So, last week, I think last week, Hunt has the groin injury, but then he's questionable game time, but I know he's in a good spot. I also have Ronald Jones, who hasn't done much, but there's no Fournette, so I'm kind of stuck. If Hunt to go, he's in a decent spot for pass catching. Would you go him or Ronald Jones?
I'd go Hunt if he's going, because that Chargers defense is no joke.
Yeah, I would go Hunt too. If he's starting, you're flexing them. Ronald Jones, I don't know. I know when I was looking earlier, it's actually pretty wet down in Tampa Bay, so I don't know if it's going to be raining through game time or what. He could see some volume because generally when there's rainy games, there's a lot of groundwork, but they could also keep it short with Tom Brady, with Gronk and OJ Howard, and so on and so forth. So, but realistically, I mean, talent, upside, touchdown opportunity. I'm taking Kareem Hunt over Ronald Jones.
Same here.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate you guys, man. I've been a long time listener, and I really appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling.
Don't wait so long to call back in next time.
No, I was. Somebody was asking like 5 questions. I had my wife cook breakfast, so I was like, all right, let me jump off and I'll jump back on. So
Fair enough, man.
Thanks for calling, man. Good luck this week. Thanks for listening.
I can verify that in Tampa because I'm right in Tampa right now. It's been raining like a son of a bitch for for almost like 24 solid hours, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. We're in the middle of a kind of a tropical storm, no lightning or anything at least, but there's definitely a lot of rain.
Great.
All right. So we're going to, now that we got our weather report from Mike, we're going to jump into these questions from YouTube and Twitch.
Hey,
We should have had a helicopter drop for that one, just playing in the background while Mike was giving us the report.
I just got a question. Can we start referring to him as Weatherman Mike versus Dirty Jobs?
Dirty Jobs.
Because I feel Weatherman Mike is more appropriate at this moment.
Okay, let's do it. All right. Mini Jordan 718. I don't want to interrupt the weather report for a kicker question, but I have to. Mini Jordan 718 wants to know, need a kicker. Bailey at Houston, Myers at Miami, Gould versus Philadelphia, Bassett the Raiders, Suckup versus the Chargers, Folk at Kansas City, or someone else you guys would recommend. I'm gonna play Myers at Miami.
I'm gonna play Bailey at Houston. I want a kicker indoors.
I listen, you all know how I feel about kickers. We have to throw it to Weatherman Mike. He is our kicker expert here on the panel. Nobody knows kickers like Weatherman Mike. So, Mike, this is your alley. This is your expertise. This is your field. I refuse to answer the question.
What are my options again right here? Oh, we got Okay, so Bailey, Myers, Gould, Bass, Suckup, Folk. So I need a 7-sided dice for this. I'm just going to roll 8, and we're going to say it's Suckup against the Chargers. So I feel
in the rain, I don't know that Weatherman. You're falling down, bud. We don't want Suckup versus the Chargers in the rain, right?
Suckup doesn't suck up in the rain, the snow, the wind. He doesn't. Okay. Suckup rises to every challenge. People with names like that always do. I really, honestly, I don't know kickers. I try to eliminate them from every single league I possibly can. I rolled a 7 on an 8-sided dice. That's why I picked.
All right, so I think the answer to this question is actually Myers. Minute Jordan, go with Myers at Miami.
And that was some great logic you just dumped into that, Mike. I love it.
Yes. All right, we're gonna get off the kickers here. NBW_Mellow. Who should I start? DJ Chark or Justin Jefferson?
Man, that's kind of tough. It's hard to not play Chark. I know he's had a slow start, and I know he's coming back this week off of being injured with chest issue. But it's also difficult to sit Justin Jefferson after what we just saw from him. But honestly, with the matchup, I think I have to go with Chark here.
I'm going Chark as well.
And me as well. I think it's 1 week too early to decide that Justin Jefferson's actually a thing. You know, how many times do we see a guy have a big week and then you don't hear from him for several more? It could have just been a fluke. So I'm just going to throw this out there. Justin Jefferson burned Tennessee so bad, they were susceptible to COVID.
Wow.
Well, I'm going to say this about that because I like when Jason says that.
They gave him the COVID? Man.
No, they didn't. Justin, you can't blame COVID on Justin Jefferson because there was nobody within 25 yards of him last week, okay? So there's just no way that's going to happen.
All right. Obsessed with success. Marvin Jones or Darius Slayton? Half point PPR.
Half PPR? I think I have to go Slayton here. I don't really care for either matchup. And I know New Orleans is in Detroit. And that's generally something that would scare me with Drew Brees, but it doesn't really concern me with the defense because the defense is still pretty good.
Aren't they banged up along their secondary though, Steve?
New Orleans?
Yeah, I thought I read that somewhere.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah, they've got quite a few players sitting out on that defense. Janoris Jenkins is going to be out. What's the name there? Marshawn Lattimore is out as well.
Oh, if those guys are out, then yeah, I'm playing Marvin Jones. I didn't know they were out. My bad.
Yeah, I'm going Marvin Jones here.
And that's why I wanted to mention it. I thought I had read that somewhere, and I'm trying to find it, but George backed me up there, so I'm going to say Marvin Jones with those guys out.
I've got those guys in the IDP league, so I had to replace them this morning. So they're definitely out.
Yeah, I missed that then. So yeah, definitely Marvin Jones.
All right, jumping over to I'm not gonna try and figure that one out. It's let's see, minimal impact, pick 2, PPR, Emmanuel Sanders, Russell Gage, or Slate.
Russell Gage for me.
I'm going to say Russell Gage. And even though Sanders hasn't looked very good, I'm going to say Sanders just because that Detroit secondary is banged up big time. And that defense is not very good. So with Michael Thomas still out, Jared Cook is out. For anybody that's dying for a tight end, Adam Trotman might be a good dart throw for you this week.
Yep.
So I'm going to have to go with Sanders and Gage.
Yeah, I'm going to say Sanders and Gage as well.
Same.
All right, minimal impact, half-point PPR, McLaren or Gaskins? And McLaren is playing the Ravens defense this week, so I'm going to say Gaskins. There's also talk about Haskins not getting it done and potentially getting benched, which may actually be good for McLaren, but I don't know that that's going to happen this game or after. I'm going to say Gaskins. We talked about safe floor before. McLaren's the only thing decent on that offense, but that also means he's the guy the Ravens defense can key on.
Damn, that's tough. You got, man, I believe in starting your studs. That's tough to sit McLaurin, but just the volume for Gaskin. Yeah, I guess I can see that.
George?
It's close. Being that it's only half-point PPR, I think I'm going to go Gaskins. I want the safe floor.
Yeah.
All right. Smacky Monkey or Smacky Mackey. Traquan Smith or Evan Ingram. Yeah, Smacky Monkey. That's what you were doing with the camera off before the show.
Yes, it was.
On the other hand, Smacky Mackey needs to know Traquan Smith or Evan Ingram.
Man, Evan Ingram has just been so tough this year. Like he's actually kind of driving me crazy a little bit. But again, however, with the lack of receiving targets in New Orleans, and as bad as that Detroit defense and secondary is at, I think I have to go Traquan here. I'd rather roll the dice for the boom than it's your floor is consistent with Evan Ingram, but I think your potential upside with Traquan Smith this week is greater.
I think it's very similar situations, right? Like Traquan Smith, we're saying Traquan Smith because Michael Thomas is out and there's not a lot of options, and we're saying Evan Ingram because all of New York's other options are hurt and there's not a lot of options there. And both of these guys continually underperform when they have the opportunity. But like Steve said, I think I'm going with him on. I'd rather take a shot at a boom game with Smith than a floor game with Evan Ingram.
Right.
So what's front? So I own Evan Ingram in a bunch of leagues, and I was expecting huge things from him this year. I thought for sure he would be a top 5 tight end. That's where I had him ranked preseason. Boy, is it looking bad at this moment. There's no way right now I can go to the well for Evan Ingram. I've got him in tight end premium leagues. Those are the only places I'm starting him. Outside of a premium league, I can't do it. I've got to go Traquan Smith.
All right. That's all 3 of us. And then Cowabunga, 69.
Yes.
Gallup or Gasecki?
I wonder if this is tight end premium. I'm going Gallup, unless it's tight end premium.
And that's where I'm at too. Gallup, if I'll take Gallup even if it's tight end premium.
Yeah, I'm taking Gallup.
So those are our current questions on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. So if you have more questions there, you can ask us. But we're gonna jump over to our Mixler questions, and we're gonna start with Oswaldo. Who do I drop to make room for Debo? And He says Ayuk, Harry, or Hilton, and I think we just talked about this. If you want Debo, you drop Ayuk out of those three. I would think you guys were big on Harry last week, so
I'm
unless
still
that's
big on Harry.
changed,
Nope,
Yeah.
still not. No, I'm still good with Harry. He's going to get better as the season progresses. I'm going to drop Ayuk.
Yeah, I'm dropping Ayuk.
All right, and Mo Alley Cox or Jimmy Graham this week, and I think we're all going to say Mo Alley.
Mo
It's
Alley
kind of
Cox
tough,
for
man,
sure.
because Foles is looking at Jimmy Graham. It's kind of tough, but I think I would have to go with Mo Alley Cox. It's close for me.
Close for me as well. Jesus Merck says, "Do we think Julio will play?"
He's also a true game time decision. If you're asking me to guess, which is exactly what I am actually doing, I'm going to say yes. But I'm very optimistic with player injuries.
All right, not sure what that robot was talking in the background there.
He said if he had to guess. So here's I speak fluent George Robot, and if he said if he had to guess that Jones does play this week.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very iffy about it. I'm gonna say no because if you really think about it, they're 0-3. You have Ridley, Gage's, through concussion protocol, so on and so forth. I don't see a reason to really rush him back. So if he's not 100% and they're looking at him as a game time decision, my guess is that he's not going to play.
Yeah, I kind of leave. The only thing that makes me think that maybe they play him, and it's not for the team's good as a whole, but Dan Quinn's got to try and save his job, right? And we're talking game by game. If they keep sliding and losing over and over again, the odds increase that Dan Quinn loses his job, maybe even during the season, especially the way they've been losing. So I can see somebody like Dan Quinn going, it might not be great for the team, but let's put him out there. And
stop assuming people in the NFL care about player safety. They don't.
Well, that's on the other side of that. If he rushes him out there and he goes out and hurts himself again,
that could cost him his job too, right?
Exactly. So it's rocking a hard place.
Basically, what we're saying is we have no real idea, right? And because he's a game time decision, nobody really knows until the game. And because the game is I just lost my train of thought. But anyway, because because the game's Monday night, like you can't really take that risk. Sorry guys, my brain just froze for a second as I was looking at Mixler. All right, so
I'm gonna say I'll be surprised if he plays. I'll say that.
All right, so the Piggly Wiggly wants to know running backs I should start. Miles Sanders, Gibson, Hyde, or Williams. I don't know. I guess of those, it would be Miles Sanders, right? Like if it's just one.
What were the options again?
Sanders, Gibson, Hyde, and Williams.
I'm assuming that's Jamal Williams.
Jamal Williams, right.
Yeah, Hyde. Carson's expected to play, so it's not like Hyde's going to have a full role. Gibson, I don't like the matchup. And you're never sitting Miles Sanders. I don't care how bad that offensive line is or how bad the passing game is. Miles Sanders is going to get volume, so I'm playing him.
Yeah.
Same.
And then start as a wide receiver / flex. He's starting Calvin
Jason.
Ridley. Yes, sir.
We did this on Friday night.
Okay. This is one day ago, so he's asking again, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, because I said we went over this on Friday night for her.
Okay. Well, Oswaldo 2 hours ago says, who's the best play this week? Cousins, Fitzpatrick, Teddy, Rivers, Mayfield.
I think it's Fitz.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick.
Yep, I agree. And then I think we just went through this one. He asked in both. So we said to drop Schultz and not one of the running backs. Hildemat, good morning. Thank you for doing the show today. Every Sunday, man. We'll be here every Sunday. J-Fan, PPR, need one wide receiver, one running back, and a flex. McLaren, Edelman, Gage, Renfro, McKinnon, Brian Hill. You know what? I'm going to see if I can do this. Give me 1 second. I'm going to see if I can. I'm just going to add it to the private chat so you guys can see this. And then after this question, we're going to jump into a call. So in the private chat, we've got PPR need 1 wide receiver, 1 running back, and a flex. We've got, let's do the wide receivers: McLaren, Edelman, Gage, Renfro.
I think I'm doing Edelman out of that group with the knowledge that it's a high risk play.
I think I'm gonna play Gage out of that group, knowing that. Well, like we just talked about, Ridley's a little bit banged up, and Julio may not play. Gage is back. I think it's going to be a decent game for Gage.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Gage. I don't like the matchup with McLaurin at all, and that defense is just good. They actually just gave an extension to the best corner on the team. I don't like Edelman's matchup at all against Kansas City defense. It'd be a little bit different if you had Cam to keep the defense guessing, but it's going to be one dimensional as far as quarterback
Brian
goes.
Hoyer is a quality quarterback, sir.
Don't even.
You need to stop besmirching the name of Brian Hoyer.
It's like saying Trubisky is good, and look where he
Trugotsky,
is.
sir. Trugotsky.
That dude holds a clipboard better than any quarterback in the league.
You need to put some respect on that name.
You stop your nonsense.
All right, so let's get to the running back. We got McKinnon, Brian Hill, Wilson Jr., or Giovanni Bernard.
McKinnon for me.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go McKinnon here. GOC in receiving work. Joe Mixon is expected to play. And then you look at Brian Hill. Actually, I like what Brian Hill, the amount of volume that he's been getting. Jeff Wilson Jr., he's probably going to be more touchdown dependent as long as McKinnon is on the field. That's the thing about McKinnon that worries me about this play. But if he plays the entire game, I think his upside is greater than those guys.
And I agree with McKinnon. So we need a flex, and you have all the guys we didn't pick already, plus add Schultz.
So with that said, I'd almost rather go McLaurin over everybody else at this point in time. You have Gage with a good matchup. You have McKinnon against the Eagles. Generally have a pretty good run defense, but this is San Francisco. That's that running style, and he has the receiving ability as well. So I do like that play. And then granted the matchup with McLaurin is crap, but everybody else is going to be kind of touchdown dependent aside of Schultz. We'll see if defense is keying on him a little bit more after the amount of work that he's seen these last couple of weeks. But I think probably the safe floor play is going to be McLaurin.
Yeah, I think of everybody left, maybe Renfro doesn't have this, but I think everybody else is challenged for playtime. Brian Hill's behind Gurley, Wilson's behind McKinnon, Bernard's behind Mixon, Edelman. We are not sure about that game. So even though it's a tough matchup, McLaren's got the clear path to targets. So yeah. I would say McLaren.
See, and I would go Gage here. So I would have went Edelman and Gage.
All right.
That's your problem.
That is. So that's 2 of us for McLaren and Gage. So with that, we're going to get to our next caller. Caller, you're on with the Blitz. What's your name? Where are you from?
Gentlemen, how we doing? It's Paul from New York. How's life?
What's up, Paul?
Hey, Paul. What can we do for you this week?
Good. All right, so I'm in a 2 flex and a 2 wide out league here, and I do have Julio and have Gallup starting, but Julio is like that big question, and I don't want to risk that. So I'm over here questioning whether or not to start Marvin Jones, Beasley, T.Y. Hilton, and Higgins. And also have Hawkinson as my starter, but I also have Hurst and Tanyan kind of backing up. Just I kind of like due to COVID, I also have other players like AJ Brown and Henry that are COVID right now. So I picked up Tanyan just to maybe just plug and play and then drop them. So I'm kind of in like that big question right now. So right now I'm starting Gallup and Julio, but I'm debating on just benching Julio and starting Higgins and Jones. But yeah, so I'm kind of in this little rut right now.
Yeah, I don't know if
I threw a lot of names at you guys.
I like Jones, but I don't want to stack him up with Hawkinson. But I don't want to play Hurst or Tanyan over Hawkinson. So I guess at that point, man, that is kind of tough. I'd probably roll the dice on T. Higgins here over T.Y. Hilton.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm kind of debating the same thing. And Beasley too, just because it is a half PPR, and so Beasley's been getting some volume.
Yeah, I just look at, Joe Burrow, he's actually statistically, I believe, the number 8 quarterback on the year. Yards, as far as yards go, he has 5 touchdowns. He's only thrown 1 interception. He's coming off, I believe, back-to-back 300-yard games. He threw 2 touchdowns to T. Higgins last week. John Ross was actually a healthy scratch, I believe. A.J. Green has not looked good. Tyler Boyd's been involved. I expected Drew Sample to be involved last week, and he really wasn't. So again, we talked about earlier. I don't know if you caught it or not, but there's just a chemistry with Higgins and Burrow because they worked out together through this offseason here. So I think with the matchup and all of that, and again, I don't want to stack Jones and Hawkinson because Jones would have been my go-to there. So I'd probably go Higgins over your concern with Julio.
I'd also checked it, and it sounds like you have deep leagues. I checked to see if Gage may be out there on the wire.
I would be surprised.
Yeah, I'd be surprised too, but coming off injury, you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried. So do you think I should double flex with or just flex with maybe Marvin Jones instead of TY?
See, I'd rather roll that dice and stacking those guys if you have that option. I'm not sure what your starting lineup's like or anything like that, but I think the target volume is going to be there for Hawkinson and Jones. So, with T.Y. Hilton, he just hasn't looked good all year long. And, again, it's in Detroit. You have a banged up New Orleans defense. Apparently their secondary, I didn't know. These guys told me about it a few minutes ago, but that secondary banged up. It's in Detroit. They tend to play well at home, whether they win games or not. So I'd probably, with that situation, I'd go Jones, Hawkinson, Higgins.
I feel that. Thank you. And just one last question here. Tanyan, do you think I should even risk even just plugging him in just for 1 week and dropping him just because, Lazard's out now. And so MVS have been dropping passes like he's just got brick hands right now. Even in the end zone, I feel like Tanyan just might just catch the ball and just, go off. So I'm debating on even starting him. But, what's your opinion on that?
That's always been my problem with MVS is his drops. Tanyan does have some sneaky upside play this week just because of the lack of pass catchers and whatnot. So, that's something you probably got to think through a little bit, but I don't think I don't think it would be a crazy play. I'll say it that way. He does have some sneaky upside this week.
Respect. Gentlemen, I appreciate your insight. One love, guys. Good luck this week, and let's pray this COVID just disappears.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Good luck to you.
Good luck this week. All right,
one love, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. And we're clear on calls. So I'm going to jump back in. We've got a YouTube question from Smacky Mackey. Wants to know Traquan Smith or Greg Ward. Ward is on the waiver wire. in the league.
I mean, they had nobody to throw the ball to in Philadelphia, so I'd probably go Ward there.
Yeah,
I
I'm
agree.
leaning Ward as well.
Minimal impact, Brandon Cooks or Justin Jefferson?
You know, I like this week for Brandon Cooks. I like this week for the Texans. They're through this gauntlet weeks 1 through 3 that they went through. And they've had a few weeks against tough teams to actually work together and whatnot. Will Fuller is staying on the field too, so it's not like defenses can truly key in on Brandon Cooks. David Johnson's involved in the pass game. I'm looking at a get-right game here for Houston, so I would go Brandon Cooks.
And I'm with you as well.
Yep, same. Brandon Cooks.
JK Trey 10. Should I have faith in DJ Chark or roll the dice with Hunter Renfro's high floor and potential for big targets?
PPR, it's kind of hard to veer from Renfro. It is kind of tough, but it's been a struggle for Chark. And he is coming back from whatever his chest injury was. I don't know. I'd probably go Renfro if it's PPR. If it's not PPR, I'd go Chark.
And it doesn't say. I'm going to say Chark either way. Renfro had a big game last week, but that was with the Patriots taking away Waller completely. So basically, Renfro was playing those underneath short routes that Waller was getting. And I like Renfro as a player, but I'm just going to go with the upside of DJ Chark here. So, George, you've got to break the tie.
It's an easy one for me to break. I'm not chasing points on Renfro. I'm going with DJ Chark.
You would.
I mean, it's tough because he also still calls him Mitch Trubisky, right?
It is. But, and now he's praising Brian Hoyer.
Listen, I got to come up with a nickname for Brian Hoyer. I'll have a good one for him by the end of the week.
I will await for it with great anticipation.
So I want to say some breaking news here. It looks like it's official. Both the Chiefs and the Patriots will be playing Monday night.
Which is better than only one of them playing.
Yes, absolutely. Both teams will be playing. They are going to be doing COVID testing Monday morning before the game. So as long as there's nothing that pops up positive again on Monday between testing and kickoff at 7:05, the New England KC game is officially scheduled for Monday night.
See, this frustrates me for my Scott Fish League because literally I have basically every wide receiver out except for like Mecole Hardman, Miles Boykin, and I can't even remember the other guy right now. I mean, I guess I could roll with Debo because he's back, but every other guy I have, like Chris Godwin, he's out. Right, it's just this is beginning to be frustrating. But
so I'm gonna quote and parrot some people on Twitter. Sir, you should have planned for this. You should have known at the beginning of the season that NFL teams were going to pop players with positive COVID tests and then put the whole game in limbo versus just canceling it. You should have known and you should have prepared a lot better for it. Which I think is a terrible argument, by the way.
All right. After whatever that weird thing was, I'm going to jump over to Bobby Pigskins. And 2 quarterback league, who gets benched? Stafford, Bridgewater, Fitzpatrick.
Bridgewater.
Yeah, I think it's Bridgewater too.
Wait, say that again.
So Stafford, Bridgewater, Fitzpatrick, you have to sit one.
Oh, you have to sit one. Yeah, I'm sitting Bridgewater.
Yep.
All right, Weatherman Mike is calling me out for not looking at the private chat, so I'm going to say we've got a call on the line. Caller, you're on with the Blitz. What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm from Detroit.
What's up, Al? We recognize that deep, smooth voice anywhere.
Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you say Showtime George?
Got you. Showtime George.
I'm gonna need to get you to cut some promos for a Friday night AMA. I'll talk to you after the show.
Hey, Al, make sure you get your
I got
Venmo.
you. I tried to. We were actually recording the episode, and then when we got done, my phone alerted me that you guys went live with the AMAs, and I'm like, oh shit, let me turn it on. But you guys are already done. You were sitting there looking real chill in your bed. I'm like, oh damn it, I definitely want to be a part of this. I missed it, but I will not miss it next week. I got you guys.
Friday nights, Friday nights at 9:00. Just wanna plug the Friday nights AMA. Friday nights at 9. It's a good time every week, and hopefully I can get you to record a promo for Showtime George here.
George.
Exactly.
Hey, I got you, man. We'll get it together. We'll get some drops. We'll turn the show all the way the fuck out, all the way to that. I don't know if I can cut.
See, and you missed it this Friday, man. These guys were going back and forth debating on who is whose side piece and everything, man. It's just you totally missed it.
I mean, Al sounds like a good side piece, don't he? All right, let's get past this part of the show, and we're gonna get into your fantasy questions. We got a lot going on this morning. So, Al, what can we do to help you this week?
Indeed. Well, first off, how about Hoyer the Destroyer?
There you go.
Oh,
like
man. Don't feed
like
into
that.
George.
The
Come on.
Destroyer.
No.
There we go.
Great.
There we
The
go.
rest of my week is ruined.
Weatherman Mike said Brian Goat.
Hoyer the Destroyer.
So the Destroyer is good. Mike's got Brian Goatyear in our private chat.
Yeah. Well, we already got Tragowski though.
Yeah. I like Warrior the Destroyer. He's going to destroy all Steve's dreams.
But QB question. As you know, I got Josh Allen and Deshaun Watson. Who do you feel like I had a better game? Because I think they're both decent matchups.
Josh Allen for sure. There's no way I could sit that guy the way he's been playing right now.
It is.
I mean, outside of starting Mahomes or Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray, like my next in line is the way he's been playing is definitely Josh Allen.
Yeah, I actually saw
like he's been hot.
Yeah, it's hard to sit him. And I actually saw earlier on NFL Network that they did a side-by-side comparison of, looking at potential MVP run and stuff like that with Josh Allen. And after the first 3 games of the season, he's better than what Lamar Jackson did last year.
Yep.
And with a matchup, even though it's on the road against the Raiders, and Deshaun Watson, like I was saying before, I feel like it's a get-right game for them. You have to roll Josh Allen at this point.
So is it crazy that he's playing better than Lamar Jackson at this point last year, and I still wouldn't make him MVP this year? It's Russell Wilson.
No, it's not crazy because, I mean, Russell Wilson is on pace for like 75,000 touchdowns. So, I mean, it's just kind of, I mean, Wilson's been playing nuts.
Control.
Right.
And that's with and that's averaging in one drop or one fumble out the back of the end zone from DK Metcalf every couple weeks.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. That was the worst thing I have seen in football in some time.
Leon, somewhere Leon is like, oh, thank God somebody else did it.
Yeah. Now Mark Sanchez is waiting for the next butt fumble too.
Yep.
Oh, you know he is. Okay.
Chris Conti.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, somewhere Chris Conti's still waiting for a devastating face plant.
Chris Conti,
stiff arm.
Chris Conti is still in.
He's still in the ground from that.
He's still in concussion protocol. He's been out to for 2 years.
So he's still waiting for somebody to get devastatingly face planted like that, so that he can feel some relief. So listening to a Bucs podcast this week, they were talking about it. Like that was literally his last play in football. He showed up to camp the next year, and they didn't even let him on the field. He had to sit up in the stands. That was literally that dude's last play in football, and that'll haunt that guy forever. All right, sorry, I'll go ahead with your next question.
Nobody's had it worse than the guy Antonio Brown stomped his foot in.
Oh yeah, karate kick.
speaking of Antonio Brown, real fast, I did listen to that Deshaun Jackson song. It was pretty decent.
Yeah,
Was it? All right, I'll have to check that out next. All right, I'm
Okay,
leaving myself a
check it out.
note.
He did all right. He did, like I said, way better than Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown. They need to stop.
Something about them Pittsburgh Raptors.
David Johnson, Austin Eckler, Nick Chubb. Oh, and I was able to get Gibson. He was on waivers. I had to wait till Friday, but I secured him. So I did drop Hines for Gibson, but I don't plan on starting Gibson this week. He has Baltimore.
right.
But as far as running backs, I should go Chubb and Eckler, right?
Who were the other options?
I got David Johnson, Eckler, and Chubb, and Antonio Gibson. Or is that his name? Is it Antonio?
Antonio Gibson, yep.
Yeah, Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, Nick Chubb and Austin.
I want to roll Chubb and Eckler, and then David Johnson is normally a flex consideration.
Yep, that's the way to go.
Yeah, you should be playing all three of those guys if you can.
Okay, yeah, because they're all in my lineup definitely right now. My wide receivers are Woods and Beckham. I wanted to start Crowder the other night, but I wanted to wait and see. I wish I would have started him. But
I know I had the same
neither here
conundrum.
nor there.
Same.
But I have John Brown, DJ Chark, and I was able to get Higgins. On my Beckham, my wide receivers.
What worries me about OBJ is that I feel like if this dude doesn't get long balls, he's just kind of there. But it's also hard not to play him because of that. You're starting Woods for sure, but I don't know if I'm starting any of those other guys over OBJ.
Yeah, it'd be tough for me to start any of them over OBJ.
Very difficult. Very, very difficult.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and again, with that situation, they're going up against the Cowboys. Look what, teams have been able to do through the air against Cowboys these first couple of weeks. Bunch of new players on defense. So the upside is there. And just, based on talent alone, it's hard to sit them.
Okay. So run with Chubb and Eckler as my running backs, and then David Johnson in my flex, because that would mean it would be a toss-up between David Johnson in the flex, John Brown, DJ Chark, or T. Higgins.
No, you're putting I'd be putting David Johnson in my flex.
Yeah.
What's a bummer now is now you're stacking Chubb and OBJ.
Yeah, the thing is they talked about Bill O'Brien wanting to take over more of the play calls, which I don't know that that's a great thing, but it is not a bad thing for David Johnson, who O'Brien wants to prove that he didn't really screw up with the Hopkins trade. I can see them giving it's going to be a bunch of handoffs for 3 yards for David Johnson, but some of those will be on the goal line, and I think he'll get a touchdown.
Man, I'm starting to think now. I don't know if you want to stack Chubb and OBJ in that game. I'm starting to wonder if I want to start Chark over OBJ, to be honest with you, just because of the matchup.
I'm gonna start both Chubb and OBJ.
Same here.
So a bunch of actives just came through. Kareem Hunt is active. Joe Mixon is active. DeAndre Hopkins is active. Christian Kirk is active. Chris Carson is active. Surprisingly, Carlos Hyde is inactive. So go get Travis Homer if he's on the waiver, or if he's on your bench or whatever, because I don't know how healthy Chris Carson is going to be.
And he's playing a stout defense against Miami, so
you'd have to imagine though if is Hyde hurt? Like, where did that injury come from?
Not a clue, but for some reason he's inactive. I don't know why.
His name is Carlos Hyde. That's why he's inactive. I said it earlier in the week. Do not trust playing Carlos Hyde. 5th team in as many years. Hasn't been good since about 2002. Just stop with the Carlos Hyde. He's garbage.
God, you're so angry this morning.
So, unless he's talking about Brian Hoyer.
I thought he did good last year.
That's why he's the destroyer, sir.
Right? With Houston.
No, he did terrible last year. Stop it, Al. Stop it.
Are we listening to D-Jax in the background? Is that what that is?
You got it. All right. Well, no, I think that's that's it for me, man. I appreciate y'all, again.
All right, thanks, Al. Thanks for
All
taking
right,
the
Al.
call, bud.
We'll talk to you again later on in the week.
Hey, I'll be calling you about those drops.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was going to say, yeah, man. Hit me up later today or tomorrow. Doesn't matter. We'll exchange more contact info, and then we'll get it going. That ain't this podcast with the Sleeper Wire boys. We're going in.
I like it.
Thank you, Al.
Appreciate it, Al.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Y'all be good. Good luck.
Thanks,
Good
sir.
luck. All right, and we've got another caller. Caller, you're on with the Blitz. What's your name? Where are you from?
Caller, are you there?
That was a straight hang up. He waited 10 minutes to do that just about. So go ahead, guys.
All right, we'll get back to our online questions. But if you got so excited you were finally on, you hit the hang up button, give us a call back, and we'll get you right back on the phone. Crossman 263. Who should I start at quarterback? I have Mahomes, but I'm afraid that this week's game will be postponed. I'm considering putting in Jared Goff.
I'm rolling with Mahomes. I'm confident that the game is going to play on Monday night as of right now. Go with Mahomes. Don't play Goff.
Listen, here's it's not a great option, but Hoyer is probably on the waiver.
Hoyer who?
Yeah.
The what? Oh yeah, the Destroyer.
Stop
right.
it.
No, you know what? If that game plays, you can't. Never mind. Forget that. You have to. I think you have to play Mahomes and just hope. But man, that sucks if you don't get to start a quarterback this week. I'm going to say go ahead and play Mahomes, just with the news we got recently.
Yeah, that's. I hate saying it, but yeah, probably I would go Mahomes.
Mini Jordan 718. Best week 5 starting streaming QB if the Bills and Tennessee game gets canceled. I mean, we're looking ahead a week. I haven't even pulled up the week 5 schedule yet.
Yeah, I haven't either. And it's also tough to know who's on your waiver wire. Like, there's different streamers for different leagues. Personally, I think if Fitzpatrick's available, and of course, I am the Dolphins homer here, throwing that out, full disclosure. But they get the 49ers, that banged up defense. 49ers coming across. I think it's a home game for Miami, is it not, Steve? Because I know you're the 49er guy.
Yeah, it's in.
It's in Miami.
Yeah, I think Fitzpatrick will have a decent game. So I'll go with Fitzpatrick.
So another streaming option, and it's not somebody I like, but Kirk Cousins against Seattle. They're going to be behind a good bit, so I could see Kirk Cousins having an okay game. Teddy Bridgewater is not somebody I want to play, but Bridgewater is playing against the Falcons, so that's another bad secondary. So
I feel like Crossman set me up here for a home run and left me a hanging curveball. How have we not discussed Brian the Destroyer Hoyer?
Because Cam Newton could be back.
No, 14 days, my friend. 14 days. He's got COVID. That's a positive test. He's going to have to isolate for 14 days. I don't know if he'll be back. If he's not back, I think Brian Hoyer is a must start.
Against the Broncos?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely against the Broncos.
Yeah, I'd play Fitzpatrick over the
I would
Destroyer.
too. I would too.
All right. Quick question.
I'm taking Fitzpatrick just because of the weapons in the schedule. I mean,
it's
nothing. It's nothing sexy, but it's guys that you can play, and it's effective, right? And I'm thinking back to that last one, Mahomes or Goff. Man, honestly, I don't think Goff's a bad play. They're at home. They have a good matchup. Goff. I mean, that Rams offense has been playing well. I don't think it. I mean, I know it sounds very positive that Mahomes is playing and that they'll get this game in, but I don't think it's too much of a risk to play Goff.
All right, and let's see. 2 Absentimental 2. 2AB Sentimental 2. I don't know. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Quick question. Half PPR, Fuller or McLaren?
I think I'm going to go McLaren.
That's actually kind of tough.
Right. Because who McLaren's playing, normally it wouldn't be all that tough, right? I'm going to say Fuller and a half PPR. Like you said, that they're coming out of the tough part of their schedule.
I don't think Fuller's a bad play. Just hopefully he doesn't get hurt, because he does.
Right. Right. I mean, it's the risk of injury with Fuller versus the risk of Haskins being a terrible quarterback week in and week out.
Exactly.
For McLaren. So I'm going to say Fuller, but did you land on Fuller there, Steve?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Fuller.
All right. And then Golix 1, 2, 3. What are we licking? I'm stuck trying to decide on my flex play. Would you guys play Mark Ingram, Emmanuel Sanders, or John Brown in a half-point PPR?
Mark Ingram has been so disappointing this year.
Yeah. I'm sticking with it, though, because it's not like Emmanuel Sanders or John Brown. John Brown's coming off an injury. When he's healthy, he gets in the end zone. But I'm going to say Mark Ingram.
I don't know if I can go Ingram here. He has been disappointing. Washington has that front's been pretty solid against the run, even though Chase Young is not going to be. Well, at least I don't think he's available. I know he left last game with it. Yeah, so he's out. But that front's still been pretty good. And I think they're going to force Lamar Jackson to actually beat them through the air. We'll see how that goes.
I'm just staring at this picture. Is that Jeff Goldblum?
It is.
It 100% is Jeff Goldblum.
It is.
I am going with Emmanuel Sanders here, and I don't think Steve got to his, but I'm just going to jump in real quick and go Sanders.
Sorry, Steve.
Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. But yeah, I'd probably go Sanders too.
All right, 2 for Sanders, 1 for Ingram. Smuv, Kyler Murray, or Ryan Fitzmagic?
Schmoove.
Smuv.
Schmoove.
Like smooth, but would it be smooth? I'm not benching Kyler Murray.
No, you have to play him.
You've got to play him. He's been playing lights out. Let's not get too cute here.
Yeah, Kyler against Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'll take that.
Give me that.
Absolutely.
Especially if Hopkins is active.
He is.
Okay. All right, we're gonna jump back over to Mixler and Hilda Mack, Will Fuller, John Brown, or Justin Jefferson. I'm going Will Fuller here.
Fuller. Yeah, Fuller.
Yep. Will Fuller.
All right. And J Fan, 2 wide receiver, DJ Moore, T.Y. Hilton, Marvin Jones, T. Higgins, Ward, Gage, or Ayuk. Need 2 wide receivers. DJ Moore is a start, right? Like we can all just cross that one off the list.
Is he?
I think he is.
I mean, okay, so you're
PPR most definitely. Like what the worry about for me with DJ Moore right now is he gonna be like another Julio Jones where he's gonna get a bunch of receptions and no touchdowns. But the target volume is there, the opportunity and upside is there. So I would definitely be playing DJ Moore. For me right now, it's a toss-up between Marvin Jones and Gage. I like Higgins this week, but I'm not even going to consider him with those matchups that Gage and Marvin Jones has. So, man, gun to my head, I'd probably go DJ Moore, Marvin Jones, to be honest.
And that's kind of where I was leaning to DJ Moore and Marvin Jones. I do like Gage's opportunity, but man, playing against a bad secondary in New Orleans just makes me want to play Marvin Jones.
And I want to go DJ Moore and Gage. I considered Marvin Jones and Gage. Like I don't production wise, I don't think DJ Moore has been an automatic must start. The name makes it a must start because he's kind of like OBJ, can go off any game, have a fantastic game. But yeah, DJ Moore and Gage for me.
Yeah, I just keep looking at the fact that the ball's going to be flying in Detroit. I mean, for Drew Brees, he's probably only going to go 5 yards at a time. But
4.7.
Yeah, 4.7. So, I mean,
that's his average air yards.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so Fear the Claw says, "Good morning, guys. I need some help. PPR 14-man league. Need 1 running back and 1 flex. I think this is a typo, but I'm going to read it as written. His running back options are McKinnon, Jew Wilson, or Singletary. I'm going to assume he means Jeff Wilson and not Jew Wilson, my Jewish neighbor. So McKinnon, Jeff Wilson, Singletary as the running back.
I think I'm going to go McKinnon Singletary.
Well, he needs one there, and then he's got a couple wide receivers to throw in as a flex.
So I'm going McKinnon for sure.
McKinnon's the running back. Okay, so we've got Jeff Wilson, Singletary, Fuller, John Brown.
I'm going to go Devin Singletary over McKinnon.
Oh, okay. Well, so that's 2 from McKinnon as a sure start. And then we've got the flex question. You've got Singletary as your starter. So would you then go McKinnon as your flex? Or are you putting in Will Fuller, John Brown? And then George, same question to you. You've got McKinnon as your sure start. Are you starting Singletary as the running back or Will Fuller, John Brown?
I want the running backs.
Yeah, I do too.
All right, and that's 3 of us for the 2 running backs there. The Diesel 07 says, if Adams does miss Monday night, are there any deep plays you could suggest that game with MVS engaged, guys like that taken?
I mean, going back to somebody asking about Tanyan earlier. I mean, get Adams in your flex, obviously, so you can do whatever you need to do there. But Tanyan, if he's available, has sneaky upside this week.
Yeah, he's a deep flex for sure. And now if you trust that New England and Kansas City is actually going to be played on Monday night, it gives you a little bit of options there for some deep players as well. But that's just putting more trust in guys that may or may not start, and you won't know until Monday either. But
Right.
at least there's an option now, right?
Just put it this way, anybody involved with KC, New England, the Monday night game, get all of these guys in your flex spots. Give yourself options. Guys that you know are playing for sure. Lock them into your wide receiver spot, lock them into your tight end spot, lock them into your running back spot. Anybody else, whether it's for COVID, whether it's game time decisions, whatever it is, get them in your flex. Give yourself the flexibility to adjust accordingly.
So according to ESPN.com, the depth chart for the Green Bay Packers, their wide receivers and tight ends, looks like this: Devontae Adams, MVS, Malik Taylor, Darius Shepard, and then the tight ends is Robert Tonyan and a guy by the name of Josiah DeGuara, Degua.
Josiah
I killed his last name.
DeGuara. Josiah DeGuara. He's
Thank you.
I believe they drafted him this year.
Yeah, he's a rookie.
I just
So
like I said,
it's the slim pickings on what to do there. So if it comes down to having to find a deep replacement for Devontae Adams, play somebody else on a different team. Go to the waiver wire, add somebody from the wire.
Yeah, Tanyan looks like the only halfway decent deep option. All right, and with that,
Correct.
we've got a phone call. Mike, pot him up, and caller, you're on with the Blitz. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hey guys, from Poughkeepsie, New York.
Welcome.
How you doing?
Got a pretty straightforward start-sit question for you. Deciding between, I got to play 2 of Kareem Hunt, David Montgomery, and Darrell Henderson in a half-point PPR.
Man, as much as I like Kareem Hunt, I think Henderson's going to be the better play there.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
I mean, they're against the Giants.
Yeah, I'm on board with Henderson as well.
So I got to play two out of those 3. So yeah, Henderson is pretty much locked in with. So really, it's more Hunt versus Montgomery.
Man,
it's volume versus talent, right?
Yeah, I think I'm still playing Hunt over Montgomery.
I think so too.
Who are the Bears playing again?
The Colts.
They're
Colts.
playing the Colts and they're at home.
Yeah, I think I'm going Hunt as well. The Colts are actually a sneaky good run defense, so I'm going to go with Kareem Hunt.
I'm also looking at the fact that Cordarrelle Patterson's going to fill that
passing role,
Tariq Cohen role.
Yep.
Plus some.
Yep.
All right. Is that? Do you have any other questions, or did we get you the answer you were looking for? Oh, did he hang up?
Oh, he might be gone already.
Yep, he gone.
All right. Well, we do have another call, so we'll go ahead and roll right into that call. Caller, you're on with the Blitz.
So I forgot to talk about Young Ho. Yeah, George, I want to pick with you. Young Ho.
Yeah, he missed a couple of kicks.
Man. And then so one of the guys on the podcast with me, one of my co-hosts, he's in my league. When he saw the fact that I picked up the kicker, he was so upset because when he read his name, he wanted him for the same reasons that we were talking about. Yes, let's get Young Ho so that way we can be like, Young Ho again with the kick. Then he did trash this week.
He had a bag. Listen, I think he got injured because the league I have him in, he's not playing this week.
Yeah, he did. He's out. He's out today. He did get injured.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that may have affected his kicking. He's the type of kicker I want. And name aside, in a dome on a high scoring offense, like that's what you look for. He just had a bad week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they said he injured himself like right before the game or something, and he wasn't doing kickoffs. Like that was the reason he wasn't doing none of the kickoffs. He was only doing field goals and extra points.
Yeah, I had no idea about that.
I had to figure out another kicker. So I picked up Cincinnati's, but then I realized the Arizona's kicker is out there. And I feel like Arizona is more of a high-scoring offense than Cincinnati right now. Should I go ahead and pick up Gonzalez?
I like Gonzalez.
Yeah, and they're playing at the Panthers, so there's points to be had there for sure.
Yep.
Exactly. Okay. All right. Just wanted to make sure I was thinking right. Like I looked at it and then I remember, oh no, I forgot to talk about Young Ho. I gotta call back.
Oh no, Young Ho.
And that was your weekly Young Ho Minute here on the Blitz. That's a new segment we have every week. It's where we discuss Young Ho. Thanks, Al. Thanks for calling back and bringing him up.
You got it. We just got a whole new segment up out of that. Man, I appreciate y'all. Talk to y'all later.
Take it easy.
All right. Coming out of Young Ho, we got another caller, Mike. Mike, if you want to put him up, caller, you're on with the Blitz. What's your name and where are you from?
Okay, my name's Roger. I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Hey, Roger. How you doing?
Hey, Roger.
Doing well. How about y'all?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Enjoying the Sunday morning with some friends and answering some questions. So what can we do for you?
So I'm kind of torn on who to start at flex. I have John Brown, Brandon Cooks, and Dalton Schultz. I'm worried about John Brown just because he was hurt last week, and Brandon Cooks hasn't exactly been playing all that great.
Yeah, I'm still starting Cooks. I mean, we talked about it a little bit earlier. Houston had 3 very tough matchups to start the year, and that's not like the best excuse in the world, but it also doesn't make things easy either. So they have a good matchup this week. Again, Fuller is there. The team's reasonably healthy. Deshaun Watson is still Deshaun Watson. And they've had time to develop something against tough matchups over these first couple of weeks. So I would still play Brandon Cooks.
And I agree with Steve here.
Thanks for the advice.
Yep.
Is that all? You got anything else, or is that it for this week?
No, that was my only question. Thank you guys.
Yeah,
Awesome.
no problem,
Thank
man.
you for calling in. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Have a good week. Good luck. All right, and the calls are clear. I'm going to jump back into our live questions from Twitch. Should I play Singletary or Ronald Jones in the flex?
Singletary.
Yeah, I don't think I can trust Ronald Jones.
I agree.
I'm a big Singletary guy, so chances are, unless it's somebody like stud, I'm starting Singletary.
Smoove also asked, and I missed it though. Hayden Hurst, Mike Gesicki, or Dalton Schultz this week?
Hayden Hurst, Mike Gesicki, or Dalton Schultz?
Yeah.
I think I'm leaning Hayden Hurst, to be honest. Like he's got 3 good options in my opinion.
Yeah. I think Hurst is the upside play there, and I think I want to take the upside with Hayden Hurst. I see Steve pontificating.
Yeah, I mean, Hurst is a huge upside play, especially if Julio misses again, right? But I do like Gesicki as well. But that's 2 against 1 right there.
All right, and should I start Mike Davis? This is Spartan Grimp. Should I start Mike Davis versus the Cardinals, Darrell Henderson versus the Giants in a full PPR?
Darrell Henderson for me.
And I'm Darrell Henderson as well. He's been playing lights out.
This is so close because I want to play them both.
Yeah, play both if you can. But
right.
I'm gonna go with Mike Davis. I think Mike Davis has the better game.
All right, so that's 2 for Darrell Henderson, 1 for Mike Davis. Achilles 089 says, Kupp is highly ranked, but I feel this is a wide receiver trap for Goff and the Rams wide receivers. McVay seems to go run heavy when he can. Gut tells me to sit Kupp and roll out CeeDee Lamb in a shootout with the Cowboys and Browns. Am I overthinking it? My answer is yes. You're overthinking it.
Yeah, you're playing Kupp.
You're playing Kupp there.
Yep. Play Kupp for sure.
It's going to be a shootout, but there's 3 guys in Dallas and maybe even a 4th, and I can't remember the guy's name because he came out of nowhere.
Cedric Wilson.
Yeah, and then Cedric Wilson, you're right. And then Dalton Schultz is there. Like, there's just so many people in Dallas that, like, it could be a shootout, and CeeDee Lamb could still only end up with 3 for 40. So I'm going to take Kupp there. So
just did that one.
Yeah, Pac Maine. If Christian Kirk doesn't start, do you consider starting Andy Isabella? I mean, yes, you consider it, but it depends on who your other options are, Pac Maine.
Yep. Yeah, and Christian Kirk is active. So
yeah, he is active.
He is playing. Personally, I probably would consider Andy Isabella over Kirk to begin with. But if you're set on starting Christian Kirk, that's fine as well. He is active.
Justin X Boyd, David Johnson or Mike Davis this week? I'm going to say Mike Davis. Oh, Standard League.
Standard League is David Johnson.
David Johnson. Yep.
All day long.
Yep.
I love all the Twitch questions. I absolutely love seeing our Twitch followers come through with all these questions. This is awesome.
Heck yeah.
All right, so I'm going to jump back over to Mixler because it looks like Twitch and YouTube are clear at the moment. So Oswaldo says, who do I sit in a Standard League? Jacobs, David Johnson, Gurley, or James Robinson?
Gurley.
Yeah, it's between Gurley and Johnson for me, and I'm going to say Gurley.
Yeah, I'm sitting Gurley.
Yeah. Brian Hill is starting to look like the better running back there.
They're gonna mix him in, and especially the way that he's been playing, they don't want to. I'm sure they don't want to beat up on Todd Gurley. You know, I mean, everybody has their view and their opinion with Gurley, but his knee is a thing. It's a reality, and if you want to have Todd Gurley get through the entire season, and you want to have that kind of talent for, you know, especially key situations and stuff like that, you have to have somebody else involved. And Brian Hill, to me, was the guy that was going to be the starter there, in my opinion, until they actually signed Gurley, but I still had him picking up a role because I drafted Gurley and Scott Fish, and then later on drafted Brian Hill, and I'm glad I did because the way Brian Hill is playing, if Gurley does get hurt, he's the clear leader for touches in that backfield if that happens.
Yep, absolutely. So Bobby Pigskins needs a wide receiver 2 and a flex. So pick 2, Hilton, Gallup, MVS, Marvin Jones, and Watkins in PPR.
Jones, Gallup.
I'm going to say Jones, Gallup as well. Yep, and that's 3 of us. He also needs a defense, so he's saying between the Bucks and the Rams.
I'm going Rams just because they're playing the Giants, and Daniel Jones is susceptible to for turnovers in general.
Same.
Absolutely.
Go with the Rams.
Yep. Fear the Claw wants to know, who should I start at flex and half-point league? Singletary, Diggs, Preston Williams, Lamb, or Higgins?
It's hard to sit Diggs right now.
It's literally
you're not sitting Diggs.
Word for word, exactly what I was gonna say. Hard to stop to bench Diggs. Al Johnson jumps on with Hoyer the Destroyer.
Absolutely.
Stop it.
Hildemack, PPR, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. Marquise Brown, Cooper Kupp, or Dave. Let's see. He's got one wide receiver, so it's she. Sorry, Marquise Brown or Cooper Kupp as the wide receiver.
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp. Okay, so now flex, David Johnson or Marquise Brown.
David Johnson.
Yeah. What really, the only thing about Marquise Brown that really intrigues me is going back to what I was saying before, is I think that Washington is going to try and force Lamar Jackson to beat them in the air. And man, Marquise Brown could have a good day today. He could have a huge boom day, to be honest with you.
Okay, so
he could have a huge boom game any week. That's the one thing I like about Marquise Brown.
Yeah, but if you're trying to take the run, week. If you're trying to take the run away big time with the Ravens, and that's realistically what Kansas City did. However, Kansas City has better options in the secondary, and the second level of the defense in general, whether it's linebackers or safeties or corners, than what Washington does. So, I wouldn't put it out of the realm that Marquise Brown gets behind that defense a couple times today.
So one thing he can do, but I think we're all going to say no, is he could start. I keep doing that. Sorry, Hildemack. She could start Marquise Brown and Cooper Kupp and then start David Johnson over James Robinson or Josh Jacobs. But I think that's a no, right? Like we want.
Yeah, that's a no.
So it's going to be Kupp and Johnson and then keep Robinson and Jacobs in your lineup. Yep. So J-Fan wants to know, PPR, need wide receiver and flex. Chark, Marvin Jones, Gage, Mike Davis. Man, I want to play both Marvin Jones and Gage, but can you bench Mike Davis at this point?
I don't think you can. I think I would play Mike Davis over Gage.
And that's where I'm leaning to, Marvin Jones and Mike Davis.
Yeah, that's probably the way I would go. For me, I'm starting Mike Davis regardless. The tough part for me is Jones and Gage. But, yeah, I think Jones is probably the better play.
Jesus Merked, Rodgers or Golf?
Rodgers.
I really don't mind Goff this week, but
Rodgers is playing so well, but his weapons aren't there.
They're a little depleted right now, and
I really wish Green Bay would call Antonio Brown.
He's still suspended, so they might.
Doesn't matter.
Got a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Goff just because of the depleted weapons.
Steve, you want to break this tie?
Oh, I said I don't mind Golf. I like Golf. Yeah.
Okay. 2-1 Golf.
All right. Colts D or Bears D this week?
I'm gonna go Colts. I said them last week, and they had a huge game last week. I'm riding that Colts defense again this week.
Yeah, they're playing against each other, so you get to watch which one you picked wrong.
I think I'm going Bears at home. I mean, they're at home against the Colts, and Rivers has been looking rough. So I'm gonna go Bears.
I picked against the Colts last week, and it was a mistake. Although the Bucks did give you a good score as well, just not as good as the Colts.
Both defenses were good. Colts went nuts, but I don't see it happening again. And I think the Bears at home are the better play.
I'm gonna say the Colts. So that's 2-1. I'm chasing last week. I know that's probably dangerous, but I'm gonna say the Colts.
Well, way to be the fun police.
Let's see. So Jesus Merck said, "Hey, I didn't even know you had a Twitch. We'll be on that for sure." Yeah,
get up there, guys. Get up there.
Steve, why don't we take a moment here? Steve, why don't you go ahead and plug our social medias where people can follow us if they don't know that we have these kind of things.
Yeah, we've really been working on building our video presence here, and on top of the podcast, because the ultimate goal here is to give you guys the in the minute content that we have and still publish the podcast. So in case you missed the live, you can always find the live feed. It's always going to be on YouTube. It's always going to be on Twitch. You'll find us on Periscope. Those are the 3 major platforms that we're utilizing. So just go there, follow us, subscribe, that way, anytime we go live, and it's not just going to be Sunday. I mean, we have shows throughout the week, so you will get alerts. And again, you can always find a live there because we want to give you the in the minute and then follow it up and publish these with the podcast as well. So YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, subscribe, get alerts. We're here all week long.
Absolutely. And when you're not watching a live show or listening to a recorded podcast, we have some really great articles that our writers pump out every week. So go check those out as well. Sleeper Wire has done a whole lot of expanding in the off season and in the regular season, and in no small part to Steve for sure, and to guys like Mike who seem to produce everything for this group. So, if we're not on live, we have a recording for you to listen to, and if you're done with that, we have something for you to read. So go check all of that out. And
we have a bunch of stuff going on, man. I mean, we have our Patreon going on. Again, you can go to Patreon, /SleeperWire, or go to SleeperWire/donate, and Patreon icon is there. You can look at all the different things that we have available. That's where our articles are actually published, through Patreon. Don't forget about the partnerships that we have with Destination Devi. Ray GQ, again, he's the Devi guy. He's the one that you want to follow. Looking at Pristine Auction, we have our partnership with. We have our partnership with Thrive Fantasy, where they do daily fantasy prop bets. So you go with Thrive, you go there, you put in $20 or more, and you'll get an additional $20 back from Thrive. And then in doing so, using the promo code SLEEPERS, SLEEPERS, you screenshot that, fire it over to sleeperwire@gmail.com, and you're automatically entered into the listener league for next year. And then along with our Patreon, we're doing a jersey giveaway. I mean, a signed Chris Godwin jersey or a signed Kenny Galladay jersey. And the next 100 that sign up with our Patreon are automatically put into this, and the winner will be randomly selected, and you get your choice of one of those two. So, to everything I just said there, what Jason's bringing up too with the writers, those guys are doing awesome things. We have a lot of things going on in Sleeper Wire to constantly bring you guys amazing content. So make sure you're following all of that, engaged with all that, subscribe to all that, so you don't miss out on anything.
And one thing we don't bring up enough is that we are a charity. So when you are donating, you're donating to a charity. Right now, we're supporting Lyme disease. Well, not supporting Lyme disease, but supporting finding the cure for Lyme disease in Rob. So when you do donate, you're donating to a 501c3 charity, not just to a bunch of guys doing fantasy football. Right. We're doing good for the community on top of that. And just last thing before we get back into the call, which we have one potted up next. We also have a swag shop on sleeperwire.com. You can go buy some Sleeperwire swag if you really want to support us and wear the gear out. That's a cool thing. I'm petitioning. Apparently I was telling people there were thongs and there aren't really thongs. I'm petitioning for that. I still say that Chris's is loose, but Nobody's backing me up on that because nobody actually wants to check. So anyway, let's get into the call. Caller, you're on with the Blitz. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hi, guys. My name's Parth. I'm from Plano, Texas. I had a quick question about a running back situation that I ran to due to Derrick Henry's game being postponed. So I had to pick up the waiver wire pretty late into the week. So I have Deshaun Vaughn and Brian Hill starting as my RB2s, and I just didn't know which way to go and which direction would be best from you guys.
Brian Hill all day long.
Yeah, they're going to be sharing, but I think Brian Hill is the better option.
Yeah, Keyshawn Vaughn hasn't even really seen the field, and I know Leonard Fournette is out, and there's Ronald Jones. I don't even know, is LaShawn McCoy active? I know they signed him.
He has been. No, he's been playing. He's been a third down back. It's not like he's gotten a lot. He dropped a touchdown 2 weeks ago, but he still is active and taking some of the work away. Keyshawn Vaughn has not seen the field yet, so I for sure would not put in Vaughn at all.
Yeah, I don't think it's out of the realm that Brian Hill's going to get 10 touches.
No, that can absolutely happen. I think we're seeing more of a 50-50 split forming in Atlanta between Gurley and Brian Hill. So go with Brian Hill for sure.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
No problem. But see, that's a prime example right there, everybody, as to why you have to stay water through this situation. I mean, look at what his options were there because he just lost Derrick Henry for the week due to this COVID situation. So you really have to look at who's available on your waiver wire, and you kind of really need to think ahead. And for the leagues that created COVID spots, that went deeper rosters, kudos to you for thinking ahead on this whole situation because it's going to happen, guys, and we have to be able to adapt. And the fact that a guy like Brian Hill, who's seen enough touches to warrant attention through the first 3 weeks, in my opinion, he's out there on the waiver wire. He's a guy you should be rostering. You have to look at these backup running backs, the wide receiver depth charts, the tight ends, so on and so forth, and give yourself the availability to make moves if you need to without having to race to the waiver wire to try and beat your league mates. I know a lot of people, these two gentlemen that are on here with me are big proponents of one tight end, one quarterback. I'm not hating having 2 or 3 quarterbacks or 2 tight ends because you just don't know. I mean, yesterday, Cam Newton test positive. Boom. A lot of you guys were starting him this week. Everybody was looking for this big matchup of Cam Newton with New England and Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City. Well, now we don't have Cam Newton. And this was on a Saturday, right? So now you're scrambling around to get Brian Hoyer. I'm not using the damn nickname, George. But, this is just you have to be proactive, guys. We have to be proactive.
So to go along with what Steve is saying about being proactive and being active, one of the guys in my league, and this is the worst case scenario that I've seen so far this year. On this guy's bench, he's got Ryan Tannehill. This is a super flex league. He's got Ryan Tannehill, Cam Newton, both out with COVID. He's got Cam Akers, who's out. Juju Smith-Schuster, who's out with COVID. A.J. Brown, out with COVID. Steve Sims from Washington, who's out. Jared Cook, who's out. Deontay Johnson, who's out with COVID. Denzel Mims, who's on IR. His entire team is just completely decimated with COVID and injuries. So you have to stay
rosters like that.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of stuff is going to happen this year, to where you look at your roster and everybody's out. You can't really make any moves or have any flexibility. So you have to stay fluid. And guys like Brian Hill, yeah, absolutely, you're going to be picking them up and putting them in. So paying attention and following us on all the social media platforms that Steve mentioned: Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. We got the Facebook. We've Periscope. We've got it all. So, and we do 5 shows a week. Actually, we do 6 shows a week. We have a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Friday. Nothing on Saturday, and then obviously we got the Sunday morning show. So if you're following us on all these platforms, like, we're here 6 days a week to help you out. So take advantage of what we're providing for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this show, you guys can call in. You can put your questions there. The Tuesday waiver show, you can call and put your questions in there too. Same thing with Mail Sack. Callers will always have priority, but if you can't call, get your questions in, guys. We'll get them answered. We're here for you. This is what we're doing.
So speaking of callers getting priority, I want to mention that we have cut off the phone lines getting this close to 12:30. We want to answer some of the questions that the live viewers have mentioned. So the phone calls are now off. We're going to try and burn through your questions here.
We still got to add line do our lineups.
Yeah, we still got to. I foresaw this and did most of my lineups early.
Same here.
Luckily.
Same here.
But I've got to go read through the inactives real quick to make sure I didn't miss anything. But let's see. Pro Dynasty wants to know Justin Jefferson or Brandon Cooks in full PPR needs a big week.
Brandon Cooks for me.
It's Brandon Cooks for me as well.
Yeah, I don't want to chase last week's huge game with Justin Jefferson. Go with Brandon Cooks.
And then Smooth wants to know, I have a couple defenses to play. Currently have the Bears defense. Wondering if there's a better defense besides them. I mean,
the Colts are available.
Yeah. I would not drop the Bears to pick up the Colts.
Or the Rams.
I do like the Colts better this week. Minimal Impact says Hooper or Mo Alley Cox. I think we already said Cox on this one.
Yeah. Mo Alley Cox.
Let's see. Smooth wants to know if Julio Jones is playing this Monday, and it is a crapshoot. We're not 100% sure yet. Pac-Man says, I didn't know you guys had a Twitch until today. Just wanted to say thank you and appreciate you guys. We deserve more followers. We're working on it, Pac-Man. We just started doing Twitch not too long ago, so it's started off pretty hot. Like I think we're gonna grow pretty quickly here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Tell all your friends. We're on Twitch now.
Definitely. Smooth wants to know, should I play Hilton or Devontae Parker as my wide receiver? He already has Allen Robinson.
I'm going Devontae Parker. Yes.
Devontae Parker, big time.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, we hit that one already. Mike Gooley says, do I start John Brown or Cole Beasley in PPR at flex?
I'm going Cole Beasley. Give me the Cole Bizzle. He's been playing solid.
PPR, it's the safe floor.
Weeks. Yeah,
full PPR, it's the safer floor.
I'm going Cole Bizzle for sure. The greatest rapper in the NFL.
Yeah, listen to Cole Beasley's rap while you're watching the game and enjoy those sweet PPR points. All right, DK Season 7, Jeff Goff for Joe Burrow. I'm going to say Jeff Goff.
I'm going Joe
I'm
Burrow.
going Burrow.
Yeah.
I'm going Burrow, man. Literally, the guy is like I was saying earlier. He's in the top 10 for yards. He's thrown for 5 touchdowns. I know that's not the greatest number, but there's a lot of quarterbacks that have thrown for that this year. There's not many that are above that. And he's only thrown 1 interception. And his QBR is, I want to say, like high 80s. So, I mean, he's been playing very good. I'd be playing him over Goff. And I like Goff this week.
All right, that's 2 for 1 Burrow over Goff. Champagne General, I don't know, Generaji. I can't pronounce that. Schultz or Henry at tight end, full PPR.
Man, I'm probably going to go
Schultz.
Okay, I'm going Henry.
I'm going to say Schultz. In a full PPR, I'm going to say Schultz. Lots of catches there for Schultz. X. Oh wait, that X one. Yeah, that's spam. So we can move past that one.
Yeah.
Let's jump down to Smooth. Jared Goff is available. Should I drop Russell Gage and pick him up? I don't know what your other quarterback is there, Smooth. If you've got a good quarterback, I wouldn't drop Gage because I think Gage is a good play week in and week out. But like you said, I'm a 1 QB guy typically, and we need to stay water. Are you dropping Gage for somebody like a backup in Jared Goff?
I mean, if Jared Goff is on the waiver wire right now, I'm wondering what other QBs are on the waiver wire. You know what I mean? Like,
so Kyler Murray is his quarterback right now.
See, that's a tough. I wish I knew other options to drop, because the thing about Goff is, let's just say hypothetically, guys, we have a COVID situation with the Cardinals. Now you lose Kyler Murray. Now everybody's running to the waiver wire. And why not have another quarterback that's in a good system with a great offensive-minded coach with the available weapons? You know what I mean? It's just...
You're right.
You know,
I can't argue against that. Steve has swayed me. I would look to drop somebody. If it's got to be Gage, it's got to be Gage. But I would definitely go pick up Jared Goff. Steve swayed me.
All right, and then Pac-Main says, lastly, I have Andy Isabella and Christian Kirk on bench. Should I drop one of them for Brian Hill? And I'm dropping Christian Kirk for Brian Hill.
I am as well.
Man, I really hate what's going on with Christian Kirk because I believed in that guy when he came into the NFL. So
it was easy to believe in. The situation was fantastic for him.
I know.
Man, it changed so much.
It's crazy, but I'm not against the move. You know, I think having the running back depth, a running back that's going to play, a running back that's going to be the number one guy if Gurley does get hurt. So I don't hate the move at all. Running back depth is huge.
Yeah, I mean, when he came into the league, Christian Kirk was basically the guy there, him and Fitzgerald, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And now it's crowded, and the opportunities just aren't there for Christian Kirk. So, Pac-Main says, "Oh, and what do you guys think about Greg Ward? I think he's the only option amongst bad options.
He's a week-to-week player for me. He's not somebody I want to rely on. But as players start getting healthier for the Eagles, less and less do I like Greg Ward. But like for this week, I don't have an issue with playing him depending on who you're playing him over.
Yeah, I mean, even when guys get healthy, I don't know. He's I think he's gonna be a good like wide receiver 3 flex play. You know, this week, and then I guess you just take it week to week with him and see what your options are, because you know players you have COVID issues, you have players getting injured left and right. You know, we'll see what we run into with injuries this week.
All right, and we're just about out of time, but I do want to run over and not leave out the Mixler guys. So Bobby Pigskin
let's
says
get this last one real quick.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I was gonna say real quick. Let's get this last one. Fuller or Cup, and this is all Cup, right?
Yep. Cup easy.
I'm on Twitch.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm
switching
sorry,
over.
Jason. I didn't mean to cut you off. I wanted to get that last Twitch one in.
Yeah, I switched over and there wasn't one, so I appreciate it, George. Bobby Pigskin says Fitzpatrick or Matt Ryan. I'm gonna say Matt Ryan.
Yeah, I think you got.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
All right, and Oswaldo had a bunch of starters out this week, so he said, Jesus Merck says start Deebo Samuel. 7 p.m. game or wait till Julio news?
Oof.
Yeah.
I mean, you know right now Debo's active, and you know that his role is not going to be what you would normally expect. Shanahan already said that. So you know you have a guy playing for sure. And again, you know, for me, my opinion, I will be surprised if Julio plays.
Yeah, I think you have to play Debo even though he has a limited role, unless you can pick up somebody in that game, in that same, Falcons-Packers game. But I think the options there are pretty limited. We went over that earlier. So I think you have to start Debo there.
Yep.
Oswaldo says, I added the Rams defense, but I just can't stand the Bills defense being on the waiver right now. Do I store 2 defenses or nah? He says he's playing with a bunch of dummies.
So if you're playing with dummies, I say no.
Yeah, and that's
with a bunch of dummies.
I guess what it boils down to me is I'd rather in COVID time store another running back or wide receiver or quarterback or than a defense. So
a defense, you can always play the matchup game too.
Exactly.
I mean, it is tough seeing the Bills defense out there. I mean, I'd almost rather roster them.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so Bobby Pigskin. Oh, so you're taking the Bills over the Rams? Is that what you said?
Season long, I would.
Season long, yeah. I think you stick with the Rams this week and then see what's on tap next week with that. Bobby Pigskins, I'm down CMC and Connor, and I'm looking at now having to start Jordan Howard, Giovanni Bernard, Dion Lewis, or do I just accept Madison as or do I drop Madison for one of these other guys?
So if it's me and those are my options, I think I'm going to start Jordan Howard.
Why? For his 1 carry on the goal line?
1 carry, 1 yard, 1 touchdown?
I'll take it, right? Like, I mean, are we sure these other guys are going to score more than that?
No.
Are we sure Jordan Howard's going to get on the field? I mean, Gio's at least getting some receiving work.
I hang on to Matt. I just play Madison here. Like, Cook had a big week last week, but I think Madison has been seeing the field.
Yeah, he does. He gets touches.
I think he's going to get as many touches as any of these other guys. So, and Bobby Pitskin added that he's already starting Gaskins and that, so he's not sure he wants to start 2 Dolphins players.
Okay, yeah, no, not knowing that, I agree.
But I think Madison's getting as many touches as most of these other guys will see. And he's been playing relatively well. So I would just stick with Madison there.
Yeah, Madison's a good running back. And, say Dalvin busts one off 50, 60 yards, gets knocked out of bounds. Well, he's going to take a breather, and Madison's going to come in and hopefully vulture a touchdown for you. I mean, his touchdown upside would be like Jordan Howard, So
yeah, except he'll get more work in between as well.
Exactly.
So, yeah, nope, cannot argue that.
All right, guys, with that, we are clean as far as questions go between our live all of our live questions. Our calls are off. So that's going to do it for us this week on the Blitz. And I want to mention again, what we did a few minutes ago, but I want to mention, check out all of our other shows. We're doing a live Monday night show this week. We've got a live Tuesday show, a waiver wire show, the mail sack on Wednesday, Thursday night show, Friday AMA, and then we'll be right back here with the Blitz. So we're here all week for you guys. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at BFTG Jason. George, I see your finger up, so go ahead and do that next.
I kind of want to tease real quick the Thursday night show. I'm really looking forward to it. We are going to be having a not the pro football doc, but we're going to be having a fantasy sports doctor on the show on Thursday to answer questions regarding all these injuries that are coming up. So I do want to plug that. I think it'll be a good show. It'll be very informative as well.
And to the Monday show you were talking about, Jason, you guys, the fun part about this is you're going to be able to call in and just either whether you want to vent about your fantasy week, whether you want to, hold your trophy high because your team went off or whatever, or if you called in and had waiver questions or questions on here and we steered you in the wrong direction, you want to call and yell at us, that's cool too. So it's just kind of just a different way of doing things. And it'll be fun in general. And it'll be going on during Monday Night Football, at least first half of Monday Night Football, right, Jason?
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to run 8 to 10. We're going to call it the Sleeper Wire Watch Party. We're going to get together. We can all watch the first half of Monday Night Football together. There's going to be 2 games going on. So that's probably even more exciting, right? And we're going to be on and we're going to take your abuse. If the whole Sleeper Wire team, you can blame me for whatever the rest of these guys screwed up, because I didn't screw anything up. So you guys can blame me for the rest of these guys' mistakes. You can tell me what you need out of Monday. You can complain about your roster, anything you want. We did get a last second question from Panther Wow 22, tight end PPR start, Thomas or Mo Alley Cox.
I'm starting Mo Alley Cox until he proves me wrong.
Yeah, I think I'm running with Mo Alley Cox as well. So with all of that said, check us out the rest of the week, and we're putting Mo Alley Cox back up on the board. So that's I'm at BFTG Jason, Steve's at SBAC21, George is at BFTG Pod, and Dirty Jobs now has Weatherman Mike. So I think it's at Dirty Jobs 21, but Mike will have to correct me on that. And for the whole show, you can follow us at Sleeper Wire Show and go to our website, sleeperwire.com. And thanks for listening this week. Thanks, guys, for being on.
Good luck.
Good luck, everybody.